Why play Sona Support? Well, she brings so much utility. She scales into a spell-spamming support mage. She brings a massive AoE stun, and her damage is also very good. However, she is very mana hungry in the early game, and she is one of the squishiest champions in the game. Sona's first passive is whenever she damages an enemy champion with her Q, or shields or heals allies with her W, she gains a stack. She can gain up to 120 stacks, and each stack grants her a small amount of ability haste. This stacks up to 120 times, where afterwards, if she were to gain a stack, she instead slightly reduces the cooldown of her ultimate. Her second passive is after using 3 basic abilities, her next basic attack is empowered depending on the last ability used. This empowered attack always deals bonus damage. However, if Q was used before, the damage is increased even further. If W was used before, the target size is reduced and the damage dealt is reduced, which makes it amazing into assassins. And if E was used before, you apply a massive slow. Sona's Q fires out 2 bolts, which automatically target nearby enemies, dealing damage to enemies hit. She also creates a circle around her, where she and allies within deal bonus damage on their next attack. Sona's W sends out a bolt which heads towards the most wounded ally, healing them. Also, allies in a circle around her are shielded. Sona's E grants her a large amount of move speed, which ends early if she takes damage. Allies in a circle around her are also sped up. Sona's ultimate is a large rectangular skill shot which deals damage to all enemies hit and stuns them. For combos, use E into W and attack. Use your Q, then auto attack reset into your power chord. And your all-in is to use E into your ultimate, W and attack, before once again using Q into your auto attack reset power chord. And of course, change your ability order around if you need to reduce their damage or slow them instead. For matchups, she can struggle into champions who can massively abuse her weaker early game, and she actually plays fairly well into engaged supports, dodging their engage with E or using W to stop herself getting blown up. For runes, take this, Eri makes everything you do better. For build orders, start World Atlas and Pot into an Echoes of Hellier and tier 2 boots. After this, a Moonstone and a Dawn Core are great pickups before finishing your build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing W then Q then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Heal. For synergies, she works very well with lower mobility carries, who she gives that mobility to instead. Starting the game, you can play aggressive or defensive depending on your matchup. If playing aggressive, from as early as level 1, an attack into Q, auto attack resets into another attack is a ton of damage. Otherwise, just sit back and focus on stacking your passive. Poke away with Q whenever you can and use W to mitigate damage coming in for you and your carry. And if you're ever being ganked, your E into an empowered slow is a great tool to escape. And when you hit level 6, your all-ins become incredible. Enter in the mid game, take tower and rotate mid. Help your carry siege and roam to fights and objectives. Entering late game team fights, you can play in 2 different ways. Your ultimate or a flash ult from you is a great way to engage a fight. Otherwise, just play the backline support, spamming out tons of damage, speed ups, heals and shields for your team. And the longer you stay alive in the backline, the easier the fight is for your team, as you just spam out so much damage and utility the whole time.